Yo, this is the Ranking Rizzler on appropriations, serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era. All right, besties, House appropriation is the money moves in Congress. We are not chasing the bag, we are the bag. Democrats are making life smoother through government funding. It's giving, it's giving. So Sigma, main character energy. But Republicans' Project 2025 is mad sus. Eliminating the Department of Education? Negative aura points. Basically, the biggest phantom tax on the environment, on your education, and your rights. Big L posting it online, buddy. Democrats understood the assignment, but go off. See how I keep you informed? Very cutesy, very demure.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, the Democrats are out of control. They are in free fall. They don't know what to do as Donald Trump is taking over the government with this new MAGA wave, including the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk. And y'all, they are wrecking shop in government. Donald Trump got his cabinet confirmed. All systems are go at this point, and the Democrats don't know what to do but be ridiculous, to the point where they are turning off their own supporters, y'all. They have selected the elected from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, who is out here as the modern day minstrel show for 2025, who has decided to make herself available to the Democrat Party to crash out. She is the modern day crash dummy who wishes to be the step and fetch it of the party, saying, hey, I will get out here and I will dance, I will shuck and jive, I will do whatever it takes to get Democrat acceptance. But here's the problem. Because this ain't nothing new. We've always had people like this, the raccoon culture, the raccoon folks in the community. We always know who they are. She just stepping out here volunteering to be that. But we don't know who the real Jasmine Crockett is, because it seems like when she was in Texas as a state representative, she didn't act like this. And now you jump out here on the big stage and they tell you, hey, we need you to be ghetto. We need you to be ratchet. We need you to be uncouth. And she says, okay, I will wear a ghetto weave, a fake weave, fake lashes, fake nails, and put on a fake personality. Well, how do we know it's fake? Well, we don't know. It might be the real her just bubbling up to the surface. But what we do know is that when she was in Texas as a state representative, she didn't talk like that. She didn't act like that. She didn't behave like that. She was a whole different person, a whole different presentation that was made before the state of Texas. Maybe that's why they elected her in the first place. But you know what happens when you deceive the people? And you act a certain way to get in position. And then when you get in position, you switch up on the people. Well, the people switch up on you. And here you have Bill Maher, who's saying, I ain't going here. This is the equivalent of bringing out Meg the Stallion to twerk in front of the people. This is the equivalent of having Sexy Red represent your district in Congress. That's right. Jasmine Crockett is the Sexy Red of the House of Representatives. And who wants that? Well, definitely not Bill Maher, because he's come out and he said, look, if this where y'all at, I'm cool. And he's not the only one. We saw in recent days, Stephen A. Smith has come out on his own podcast and he's like, nah, I ain't with this kind of foolishness that the Democrats are on. And when you see your biggest influencers making a pivot, well, you should know that you're on the wrong track. You're going down the wrong road, and whoever is responsible for this latest iteration of the Democrat Party should be fired. You know, like that illegal immigrant that AOC had on her staff who was making 80 grand a year, who wasn't even a legal citizen of this country. And when Donald Trump took office, he self-deported back to Colombia. Yeah, somebody investigate that. Pam Bondi, get on that. Kash Patel, get on that. Because we have enemies within. But we gonna get back on topic because Bill Maher is saying, I've had enough.
You want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Let me make sure y'all got the facts. Most extreme crimes that take place in this country are committed by white supremacists. 80%.
Child, are you ready to see this fuck ass, fake ass felon on stage? I see you got your cross because you know the devil is here to still kill and destroy.
I needed some garlic. That's it. I need some garlic too. I need all the things, honey. Am I ready to see him? No. But you know, we'll see. I'm here.
Look, I'm calling it the state of delusion with this man because obviously he's very delusional.
Yeah.
Child, let's talk about delusion. This man really thinks that he's going to give the American people, and some people believe this lie, that he's going to give us a $2,000 check. The math ain't mathing.
2,000. I thought it was 5.
Maybe it's 5,000. You know, they can't get their numbers right.
Let me help you. It's 0. How about that? It's 0. And I know people gonna feel away. Listen, all I do is give y'all facts. So you come back to me when you don't get that check and say, Jasmine, you were right. Just like y'all want to get out there and say all kinds of, you know, other stuff. He's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't. You know, we showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams. This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it. That while we may not have the numbers just yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
And also, she's really going out here defending a very unpopular administration. The Democrats, they're very unpopular right now, and their issues are unpopular, and she's running out here trying to protect and defend that, and it's not a good look, especially with Black folks. We ain't trying to hear none of that shit. And her social media strategy is forced. You know, she's trying too hard to go viral. It's cringy because it's performative sass. And she's out here promoting more immigration. So you're not really reading the room. And also, to be very honest, that whole strong, sassy Black woman trope, that shit is being overplayed. Yeah, that lost its muster. See, this is why the DNC, they're about a decade behind. They think, okay, let's push out that strong Black woman, sister girl shit, and everybody's going to fall for it and fall in line. So they get Jasmine out here to be the sassy, no nonsense Black woman to excite the base. And people are tired of that shit because, okay, strong Black women didn't run around sassing all day. They did something for the family. They provided for the family. They sacrificed for the family. They fed the family. They advocated for the family. That's where the strength was. The strength wasn't you running around being loud, sassy, with big goddamn caterpillar eyelashes and flipping bundles all day. You know what? And that's not associated with Black woman's strength. That's associated with hood radishness, which is the opposite of Black woman's strength.
Now, the voice you just heard was the voice of Tariq Nasheed, one Black male producer from Los Angeles, California. I rock with him heavy because he speaks the truth. He keeps it real, and he holds people accountable, especially people like Jasmine Crockett in positions like the one she finds herself in today. And we have no reason to believe that she didn't volunteer for this. Well, she thinks that making a lame music video in the hallway of Congress, in her congressional office, who are you trying to win over? Who are you trying to woo? Because anyone who is attracted to this kinds of activity, well, we know, we've seen the charts, we've analyzed the data, we've studied the history, and we know that anyone who is in tune with this kind of activity, they probably don't vote anyway. So what are we left to take away from this kinds of activity? Well, it seems like maybe the Democrats are throwing this black lady out here that is the prototype for the passport bros, right? This is the reason that bros are running away from sisters. Because this is what you allow to represent you. If you don't want to be represented by this, then you need to shun this type of behavior. You need to shun this representation, because black men all over the United States are saying, I've had enough. This ain't what I want. This ain't what I want to walk down the aisle. This is not what I want on my arm. This is not what I want to be the mother of my children. Not this. And yet this is what the Democrats promote to y'all. This is what they want you to aspire to. Seem like, to me, the Democrats want y'all to lose. Seem like the Democrats want y'all to stay on that plantation, and they will always find a Jasmine Crockett to reel y'all in and keep black women on that Democrat plantation, where you think this is cool, where you think this is attractive, where you think this is aspirational. Well, Tariq is telling you. I'm telling you. Plenty of brothers out here telling you this ain't the move. Not only is it not the move for black women, it is not the move for the community. Because you get in Congress and you get to bumping your gums in a certain way, and people get to scratching their head and looking at you like, what are you even talking about? There's a certain level of decorum. There's history here. Do you understand the moment that you are in? Can you respect this moment? Can you respect this chamber? Can you respect this environment? Well, the obvious answer from Jasmine Crockett is no. The interesting thing about that commentary, Bill Maher pointed out that all those women were out there in a public display in the pink blazers. I wonder if Bill recognized that one of those women was not a woman at all. One of those women in the pink blazers was a whole dude. Yes, a dude elected to Congress that is a cross-dressing dude. Bill, did you catch it? Hey, you watching this video, did you catch it? Which one out there was a dude? Drop it in the comments if you saw it.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. Listen, he up there, he's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know. We showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today.
Y'all don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something.
It's a huge responsibility. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down,
No, because this is what y'all do.
And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services.
They send them to Texas, they send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
There was someone that talked to me and said, in fact, a former ambassador, and the Clinton administration.
Please calm
Don't
down.
tell me to calm down,
Calm down.
because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
He said, Jasmine, what you have to realize is that if you are really going to make change, it's not going to be in the Texas House. He said, you did a great job playing defense, but you have a chance to play offense.
Someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
That would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
Motion to
I had
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
The management, so to speak, changes. It's not just always one party that has everything.
I did it first.
voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
He said, if you really want to make real change, you really need to consider it.
Because if I
Look, Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside
shit
to take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Y'all, did you see it? Did you see the contrast? Did you see the difference? Anybody who's black in America and has worked in corporate America has understood the code switch. We all know what it is. And it's important and it's necessary because it allows other people to let their guard down and say, okay, all the news stories that I see on the evening news when I get off work, you're not one of those. All the murders that I hear going on in the hood, in the community, okay, you're not one of those. I don't have to treat you a certain way because I'm afraid of you, because I heard all the things that go on in the blackity black community. You're not one of those. Yo, we have to act a certain way. Sometimes it means you got to wear a tired wig. Sometimes it means you got to walk like you got to stick up your butt. Sometimes it means that you got to speak in a certain way, as Jasmine Crockett did when she was a representative in the state of Texas. But somehow, some way, when she got to the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., she did a different kind of code switch where she went all the way ratchet, all the way ghetto, saying, I'm going to turn up. I'm going to be the worst image of the blackity blacks. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to talk crazy. I'm going to start cussing like a sailor. I'm going to embarrass my family, my friends, and the entirety of the community. And this is going to be my image because this is the role they have selected for me in this matrix. Nah, she didn't choose it herself because that's not what she chose when she was in Texas. Something happened in this transformation when she got to DC. They said, hey, this is the role you will play. This is the image you will portray. What the goal is, we don't know, because the people who are attracted to things like this, they don't vote. They don't even pay attention. So who are you trying to appeal to in this role? Yo, I am left with the opinion that this is nothing but a distraction. They want her out here getting headlines. They want her out here getting videos like this. They want her out here getting all the clicks. Why they steal all the money through USAID and the Treasury and the IRS and all these other governmental agencies that Doge is uncovering? Yeah, they need distractions like this. They're not going to let you into the real money circuit. We need you to be over here and dance for the people and be a wild, uncouth distraction for the people while we do our business in the back room. And she happy to do it. How do I know? Because she doing it. Y'all, the Democrats haven't just lost their main voting base. They have lost the celebrities like a Bill Maher, like a Stephen A. Smith. Y'all losing the big wigs of the party. Even James Carville don't know what to do with y'all right now. He's giving you some sound advice, some old school advice, but you ain't taking it. I don't know who's running this new party, but it seems like they are crash out dummies on a crash course for the party. Well, y'all, you know, there's an old adage that says when you can't beat them, join them. Well, maybe y'all need to come on over to the right side. You ain't got to be a Republican, be an independent like myself. And just vote for things that are better for the country, better for your family, better for your financial independence. Stay away from this ratchet foolishness that got people going off the rails in the wrong way. There's no benefit to it. It's not even entertaining. I don't know what benefit a Jasmine Crockett would get out of this. Girl, they ain't gonna run you for president like this. There's some killers out there in international relations. You think they want to deal with you and your ratchet self? You think they want to deal with that side and wig and those unrealistic lashes? in the Middle East, girl, ain't nobody trying to fool with this at all. So to float her name out here as a presidential candidate, you know what, Democrats, y'all just keep doing what you're doing. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing, and we will continue to win on the right side of things. And I'm okay with that. Y'all let me know what you think about this. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.